Good evening and welcome to Professional Rambler News, where due to savage budget cuts we're filming from outside today. Actually, what were our budget cuts? Tone, what's our budget now?
$4.
Oh blimey, okay, I can probably undo a button here then. There we go, that should appeal to the youth audience, shouldn't it? Alright, yeah, welcome to Professional Rambler News Network, mate. Here are today's top headlines. It's an increasingly common problem within Australian living rooms. The battery's running out on the remote and being too lazy to get up and fix it yourself. That's when bright teen Jade Horrobin had an idea for a Kickstarter called Slavery. Like a flock of foolish lemmings fleeing towards the sea, the fleeting fancies of the water have left many Brisbaneites running away from the heat, much like my editor from this tortured metaphor. Now we cross to roaming reporter Isaac Bickerstaff with a story about a potential terrorist attack in the Brisbane suburbs. Isaac, as you can see, the residence has been blocked off. Around 3 AM, the man found a horde of killer rats had been placed inside his house. There's speculation that this horde of rats was placed there by an Australian splinter cell of ISIS. But it's not just all fun and games here at Professional Rambler News Network. Very occasionally I'll interview an actual person, not just me in a different shirt. And when I do, I make sure I talk about the hard-hitting global issues.
I think that you've got this massive mainstream component that is coming away from drinking domestic lagers and looking into craft beer.
With craft beer sales nationally increasing roughly 10% year over year, what beer drinkers want is clear.
It's something different, there's so many different flavors to try. Kind of like with spirits, you just can sort of branch out into other things.
Consumers want something different. They don't want to be stuck with the same thing all the time.
I think sometimes that it can be perceived as an affordable luxury. You can buy yourself an expensive beer. At the end of the day, it's not like buying a new motorcycle or a car. Sometimes people just suddenly have an epiphany moment, and that may come through one of the mainstream beers. It may come through a James Squire product, for example, and they go, wow, I've never had anything that tastes like that. And then all of a sudden they get a fixation, and they're just trying to chase the hop dragon.
Finally, we have a user-submitted slideshow from Isaac Bickerstaff to finish out. He's gone around the streets of Brisbane photographing its nightlife. Here's what he's taken.
Perhaps, she told herself, this was what they called the witching hour. The witching hour, somebody had once whispered to her, was a special moment in the middle of the night when every child and every grown-up was in a deep, deep sleep, and all the dark things came out from hiding and had the world to themselves.
That was a little bit wanky for PR and NN, wasn't it? Anyway, that's the show for tonight. Stay classy, Brisbane.